Hey there, this is Sherry Johnson from Sherry Johnson Coaching and the Love and Loss podcast, where we help you recover after a pregnancy loss emotionally and spiritually. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the relationships that you have, particularly the one you have with your partner, and what you're experiencing there, because what I see and what I hear from clients, what I see out on social media is that many women are really experiencing challenges with their relationship with their partner after a miscarriage or a pregnancy loss. It's pretty common. And the reason is that your partner doesn't understand what you're going through. You try to make him understand, or her, if you have a female partner. You explain how you feel. You explain how he or she makes you feel when they say certain things or do certain things or don't say certain things. And yet, at the end of the day, he still doesn't understand, and he just can't seem to put himself in your shoes. And all you want is to feel understood. It makes you feel better. It helps you to get through your grief when you feel understood. So the reason why this is happening is that first of all, your partner, it's rare for your partner to ever really understand what you're going through. So what's really happening is that you're looking for that understanding in the wrong places. So your partner's not going to fully understand. He or she didn't go through the pregnancy, so he doesn't feel the physical loss that you feel. He doesn't understand that whole process of the physical loss, which is significant. That has a huge impact on your emotional well-being as well. So that's really impacting you in a way that even other types of death are outside of the body. So they don't affect you in the same way that a death that occurs inside of your body does. So your partner's never going to understand that, and won't ever. He just doesn't feel that. So how could he possibly understand if he hasn't gone through that? Think about that. So there's a couple of counterintuitive things that I would recommend doing instead of trying to get your partner to understand. First of all, look for understanding in a place that you're going to find it. So that might not even be your closest friend. Really, the best place is to find that in a support group where people have an understanding of what you've gone through themselves, so they can relate, and you're going to feel understood in those types of groups. So whether that is an online group, a live group, a therapist who's been through it, a friend who's also been through it, that's where you're going to get the best understanding. I have a Facebook group, a private Facebook community that is full of women who have been through what you're going through, and so you can find some of that understanding and community over there. So that's number one thing that you can do to find that understanding. The second thing that you can do, and this is the more counterintuitive thing, and it's even more important, I think, than finding that understanding somewhere else. And that is to forgive your partner for his or her lack of understanding. And that probably isn't what you want to hear right now. But I want to bear with me for a minute. Stay with me, because I want to shift your perspective a little bit. So imagine trying to put yourself in the shoes of someone who's going through something that you've never experienced. So maybe it's a divorce, or someone who's been abused, or maybe even someone who's been fired from their job, someone who's been laid off. So let's take that third one as an example. So take that person who's lost a job, and you've never lost a job before, you've never been fired. So to someone like this, you say things like, when a door closes, another one opens. In other words, it was meant to be this way. And how many times have you heard someone say that to you? It was meant to be, or it wasn't meant to be. Another example, we'll say something like, we'll try to find the silver lining. So to that same person who's been fired from their job, you might say something like, well, at least you got a severance package. And that's exactly the kind of thing that we hear people say to us is, at least it was early. At least you can get pregnant. People look for the silver lining. So, of course, having a miscarriage feels way, way worse than losing a job. Or you could argue that anyways. For some people, I think losing a job is the end of the world, or feels like the end of the world. Everyone has their own story and their own way of understanding and dealing with things. But I wanted to bring that up as an example to show you that in general, human nature, as humans, we find it really difficult to put ourselves in other people's shoes. Oh, now I can see who it is. Hey, Kristen, I think that's you. So all that to say that we find it really difficult to put ourselves in other people's shoes. And really what it boils down to is that we are all the same. We are all humans, and we all try to make other people feel better. So if you're finding that triggering, then it's best to either go somewhere else to find that understanding. But the other thing is to forgive the person in front of you. Forgive your partner for not understanding. And you don't have to do that right now, because I know how difficult that can be. But I would challenge you to, or invite you to, just contemplate the idea of letting go of that anger or that resentment or whatever it is you're feeling for your partner because they can't understand. Just contemplate the idea of it. Because even just that small shift in being open to the idea of that can shift your perspective and allow that to happen down the road. So I do actually get into the how to forgive in my online program, which I am opening up very soon to a few new participants. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, you are welcome to download my free roadmap to navigate grief after a pregnancy loss. That is a free download, which I'll put the link in the description for this video. And I will leave it at that for today. I'll be back on next week with some more thoughts on how to get through grief after a miscarriage. Bye for now.